So, distant lands may also include distant times? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 2 of Adventure Time, Distant Lands. So a couple things. First off, I was told that apparently like the last episode of Distant Lands wasn't, I guess, initially planned or something. That it's like there was only supposed to be so many episodes, but they like upped it by one, and so it's like the last one's kind of like a bonus. But this is like from what I'm gathering, Distant Lands is supposed to be kind of anthology like anyways, right? So it's like there's not really gonna be like a massive ongoing story. It's just kind of adding more to what we already had from the main series, right? So it's like last episode, for example, added more to like showcase what BMO was up to between leaving the factory where they were from until they met Finn and Jake. It was showcasing that. And also, by the way, Mr. M, apparently I was told was very possibly Martin Mertens, Finn's father. Same voice actor, which I knew he had been in the series before. I just couldn't place who he was. But yeah, apparently there's no confirmation of this. There is nothing at all that confirms that Mr. M is Martin. But people just, I guess, kind of believe it. It's just a really big theory. But it's never been confirmed from what I've gathered. So it's something that I didn't even like grasp as a concept while watching, so it just it doesn't really affect me either way if he is or isn't. I don't really care, if I'm being honest, because I don't really care about Martin, if I'm being honest. Um so yeah, just whatever. I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, if this like limited spin-off and everything is as episodic as I think it is, the entire bonus thing at the end doesn't really matter that much, right? It's like it's not like with Hell of a Boss, where the last episode of season 1 was a bonus episode. It's not like that, because with Hell of a Boss, the episode before that did technically finish off the main story of the season. And the bonus episode was something that was, like, put in limbo for quite a while anyway because of just their ability to have, Kesha in the episode and everything. So there was a lot of legality with that. And the episode, while overall important to the characters and to things later down the line in season 2, it wasn't like a major part of like continuing the story. You could have left it out and it wouldn't have affected too much at that time. But it has become like retroactively more important. But it's not quite the same thing. It's like that was definitely a bonus episode compared to what I feel like this is probably going to end up being. Though I might be proven wrong. I don't know. Maybe these will have a lot more continuity than I think. But like I had said last time, what I thought I remember hearing about this and what I thought I knew about this series was that it took place after the events of the main series. And so maybe it just depends on which episode we're talking. Because the first one obviously took place beforehand. And now we're going into this one, which I don't know what we're going to have this time. I don't know what this one's called. I know one of these at least involves Bubblegum and Marceline. I do know that for sure. I just don't know which one it is. And I do believe that one takes place after the events of the main series. Because again, that's where I had heard about this, and that's why I thought like just the entire thing did. So I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Last one though was really good. I did really enjoy it, and as I've stated, I'm not usually a fan of the BMO ones, but that was a really good one. It also like had a lot of interesting lore in it with like the humans coming from Earth before it blew up and everything. Of course, there was also like I was also told in the comments it's like, oh, there were like multiple craters or whatnot that went on, so there were multiple things going down, and it's just like a whole ass mess of shit. The world that is now Ooh has gone through some crazy shit. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens in this one. So let's get into it and hope for the best. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Sorry if I'm a bit of a mess after that. I like so many tears. But I noticed the tattoo on on Finn's chest and all was like Jake surrounded by flowers. Is Jake dead? I assume Jake's dead. So this one, just like the first episode, also gives us a time frame for this. Finn is a human. Jake, because I guess because of his dog heritage and everything, ignoring the alien aspect, still lived like in accordance with dog years and is gone now. I would say this probably takes place at least 10 years in the future from where the main series ended. I would say at least. And we know Jake was already getting up there in terms of his age and all. So, yeah, it's like, I could see that. I could see him having passed away at some point between then and now. But obviously this episode also delved into like the past with a lot of Marcy's trauma and how she became what she was originally, as well as delving a bit into Bonnie as well, her own issues and her own pains. And we've learned a lot about Bonnie's past already, honestly, more than we had with Marcy. And it is something interesting to think about how parallel they are to each other, because both of them were basically orphaned. While Marcy did still have her father, like, it's Hudson. So, she really didn't have him. And yeah, she didn't even know until, like, much later on, obviously, that her mother had died, and she was left on her own, left to fend for herself and grow up, and all of that trauma, all of that pain, all of the uncertainty of what her mother even thought of her, like, led her down this kind of rebellious, angsty path. Bonnie, meanwhile, had to figure everything out on her own, and she tried to create family, and that worked out poorly as fuck. And so she ended up becoming so involved in her science, so involved in her her intellect in creating the Candy Citizens after Gumball and everything happened initially, that she kind of lost any semblance of, like, for lack of a better word, humanity, and became like so invested in the intellectual side of growing that she wasn't able to grow emotionally. And that's why Bonnie was such, like, let's be honest, a terrible person early on in the series. Why she would, like, spy on people and use people for her sake. She was not that great. But just like every character in this series, she had to grow over time. All the experiences and her connections with others helped her. She actually learned to, think and act emotionally, and learn to, like, form actual connections. And the first one was Marcy. We see that. She and Marcy met when they were both, like, basically teenagers. She saw Marcy performing. Marcy threw her shirt to her, and they eventually became friends and got together. And we finally find out. I don't think we ever, like, actually found out before why they split up too. It was because of this incident with this dragon. They were like they were both dealing with so much trauma and pain that they kind of started butting heads, and they didn't know how to deal with conflict between each other. Marcy lashed out and they broke up. And again, the first song I think we ever heard from Marcy in the series was the Not Your Problem song, which instantly, like I knew it the instant I heard it, and apparently everybody was the same with that. Instantly understood that, oh yeah, these are exes, and there is a lot of drama between them. So it's like we knew since then, and now getting a lot more context for that. That wasn't the first time Marcy had sung like this, like, aggressive song towards Peeps. It wasn't the first time she used her music to attack Bubblegum. And we see, like, how big of a deal that now was recontextualized this way. This episode deals with trauma. And it's expressed even with the glass people and their cracks. How they hide them because they're afraid of other people seeing their trauma. They're afraid of people seeing what mistakes they've done, what stains they have in their past, what problems they have in their lives. These are all things people want to hide, but hiding them can lead to, like, really negative mindsets, and can lead to even this, like, cult-like mentality of pretending everything's fine when it's not. That just makes things worse. And there's this idea, and let me see if I can find what it's called real quick, because I've referenced this before, and it's something I love, but I always forget the name of it. Okay. Come on. Kintsugi. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that or whatnot, but kintsugi is a Japanese tradition of, like, when you have, like, broken pottery, you, instead of throwing it away, you will seal it with this gold sealant. It creates, like, this unique pattern and design on it, that celebrates the beauty of the broken rather than discarding it and pretending that it's worthless now. it allows you to find worth in the broken. And this kind of reminded me of that. Even though it didn't go all the way with like literal like imagery of the glass people doing something like this. Which would have been cool if they really did. But just the idea of finding beauty in the broken is such a strong emotional concept that I think anybody can connect to, because we're all broken in some ways. And not all in the same manner. Like, for me, for example, I'm autistic. I don't hide this, I'm very open about it. And it affects my everyday life. It affects how I think, it affects how I act, it affects everything. And for the most part, I can't really do anything about it. It's a subconscious thing that just is how I am. I can't just stop being autistic. I can't fix myself. There's nothing to fix. That's not how it works. And it's something I have to live with. And it causes me a lot of problems. It causes me a lot of issues. But it's also who I am. And that's why I don't hide it. That's why I don't like keep it a secret. Because it's part of me. I would not be me without it. And the same goes for the traumas I've been through. Well, I mean, I obviously don't wish that I've been through that stuff. I kind of wish I hadn't been through that stuff. It's shaped me in so many ways into who I am. And it's given me this sense of empathy towards others who have gone through stuff like that. Whether it be abuse or sexual assault. Like, I feel a need to stand up for people who have gone through horrible traumas, because I've been there. I know what that's like, and I know how long lasting that pain is. And that's what this episode is about. Not ignoring or like moving past your pains, but acknowledging them, acknowledging your traumas, and like having someone to be open and honest in them with. Someone who can help you not necessarily get over them, but live with having had those traumas in your past. And that's what we see with Marcy and Bubblegum. They have each other. They're able to work through their traumas and their pains and their emotional issues together. And we see Glass Boy and See-Through Princess have each other. They're able to connect in very much the same way. I was thinking during a lot of it that they had a very similar vibe as Marcy and PB, but not romantic. They seemed like they just had that close friendship vibe that allows them to connect and allows them to like care for each other. And I think that that's like great to see, and to see it really come into play in the end. And just the concept of finding worth in yourself when you have only found pain and doubt and self-hatred because of either who you are, what you've done, or what you've been through. Again, these are things I can connect to. I've had extreme depression to the point of attempted suicide because of these kinds of feelings, because of this kind of pain. And it's something I still feel to this day. Even though my suicidal tendencies have dropped drastically since 2013, I still feel that pain. And I don't think I will ever lose that. As much as I would love to. I don't think I will. Because it's so deeply rooted into my very mind that it's kind of just who I am, a part of who I've become. And I have to learn to live with it and to not let it take me over. I have to control my feelings and my thoughts with it and keep ownership of my emotions. It's all I can really do, and I've succeeded like all these years since then. But it's still going to rear its head. It's still going to get me down. I'm still going to have times where I'm just not okay. And that's okay. It is okay to not be okay. The best thing you can do in that circumstance, have someone. Have someone who can be there to talk to confide in, or just to support you. It can be a partner, it can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be anyone, a coworker even. Just someone who you trust will always be there for you. Someone who you feel safe around. Episodes like this get me really emotional because, again, I've been through this shit. I still go through this shit. And when these kinds of episodes or shows focus on characters who the series has made me like love so much, it hits that much harder. Because it's like, I already care about these characters. You already made such a concerted effort to making me give a damn, and now you're just gonna break my heart and make me like super emotional over them. It's like, fuck you, but also thank you. Thank you for fucking me up. And I mean that genuinely. I'm not joking here. I mean that super genuinely. Because, and I've talked about this before, but anytime this kind of thing happens, whether it's a show, a movie, a game, anytime some piece of media fucks me up like this emotionally, it's because I care. And it's because whether it's about these characters or the story or whatever else, the series, the game, the movie has made me invested. And on top of that, and more importantly, it's made me like comfortable enough to be open with all of you, to be able to cry on camera, to be able to be so open with my emotions, so just honest. Because I've been told in the past that my emotional openness has helped people. And it means so much whenever you guys tell me stuff like that. It makes this entire thing worth it, even if I don't have a lot of subs, even if I don't have a lot of views. Just the community we formed and the fact that I've apparently helped people by just, being open with my emotions is like, it means so much to me. But it also allows me to be honest and open with myself, because it allows me to like better myself, to work on these emotions that I'm going through in a healthy way and be able to, make progress on my own. It opens me up to, bettering myself, and it's something that I have a hard time with. I have a very difficult time accepting help or seeking help out because I don't want to inconvenience anyone. I have a really difficult time asking for help. Because I really hate inconveniencing people, but I've been working on that, and I've been trying to work on that. I'll give you an example, because I'm not ashamed of this, and I'm not ashamed of talking about this and all. If you live in America, you might have heard what's going on with the entire food stamp crisis lately. I'm on food stamps. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I'm not ashamed to admit I'm poor. It's not entirely my fault. Most of America is poor, let's be honest. But I'm on food stamps, and the entire situation here with the government shutdown and the possibility of stamps being either delayed or canceled for November because of this, it's been extremely stressful on me. I've been having full-blown panic attacks, and I've really been scared. Luckily, it looks like it's kind of getting better with the political climate right now. Um, and judges are ruling that stamps can't be halted and stuff. So hopefully we'll be good. And I have the money saved away for that. So if this month did go without, I could still get some food. I'm in a place where I can right now. Um, Thanks to basically saving up food stamps from last month. So I should be good this month, but I want to be open about this because it's something I'm going through, and I know a lot of other people in this country and even around the world go through stuff like this, and I want to be able to be open for the sake of myself, but also for others out there who might need to hear that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to seek out assistance. I understand it can be difficult. Whether you want to figure things out on your own or whether you want to just not have to rely on others, or even if you just don't want to inconvenience others, like myself. Whatever the case may be, and you don't want to ask for help, it's okay, and sometimes you need to. And sometimes you should. It's just, there's so much going on in the world, and there's so much going on with our lives. And at this point, I think it's best if we just if we were just a little more open with each other. I know I've gone on these long tangents and everything here, and I apologize, but this episode like was talking about these very kinds of lessons and themes, and it's something I feel is very important to talk about. I feel honestly it's more important than talking about Finn being an adult now and Jake being gone and the cool stuff and that happened in this episode, the action sequences, or the dragon being a sea creature that was also, subject to a traumatic event and went down a darker path because of that. It's yeah, very thematic, very great, amazing writing, love it. But the themes and messages here, I feel, are just more of a big thing to discuss. And as someone, like I said, who's been through this kind of stuff, who has changed my personality, I have done that in the past to try and fit in or to try and deal with my stress and pain and trauma. As someone who has been through these kinds of things, I just want to tell you that it's okay. And that there are people out there who can and will care for you. And I care for you. You don't have to do this alone. Just always remember that. Might be my favorite piece of Adventure Time media ever, honestly, with how much this spoke to me and just how emotional it was and how just well written it was. Just everything was top tier here. It might be my favorite episode of any of Adventure Time, all of Adventure Time. So far, mind you. Um, because we still got the rest of this season. We've still got the first whole season of Fiona and Cake. We still got whatever is out currently of season 2 of Fiona and Cake, and what's gonna be out. We've got a lot more to go. Um, and I'm glad that I can be here at this point to talk about this. Because, like I said, like I had been suicidal back in 2013, and there's so much with this show and with now this, like, spin-off and all, that I'm so glad that I'm able to just, be here for it, that I'm able to still be alive to witness. And with knowing how many shows that I've loved have also been inspired by Adventure Time and its deeper themes and messages, stuff like Owl House and whatnot, or just like Steven Universe, which literally branched off from Adventure Time because of Rebecca Sugar, who is also Marcy's mom, right? So it's just like these shows that that Adventure Time inspired and that ended up inspiring others and are still inspiring more. So much greatness has come from this, and so much is going to come in the future. These are the kinds of shows that we need to be promoting and advertising and supporting. This is the kind of content that we need in our lives more often than we currently do. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Adventure Time Distant Lands? But more importantly, did this episode speak to you? Even if not in a very specifically direct way, let me know, and just always, once again, remember that I'm here for you. And that this is a safe place. This channel will not allow anyone to put you down. We're on your side. So thank you always so much for tuning in. I'm Connie. I'm signing off, and I love you all for continuing to support the channel, for continuing to give me a platform where I can be open about myself with you all. Thank you. See y'all next time.